In this episode, we talked to Harold Alexander out of Atlanta, Georgia, who has been working with the Underground app. It's an app for the undiscovered creatives, and I want you to hear a little bit about what he's got to say. He's been using this tool to really help him to get people out of spam and junk into more into inbox. And if that's a challenge that you've had where people, a lot of your emails, a lot of the stuff that you send are landing there in promotion or in spam or junk, you want to lean in and listen to this. And so let's go right ahead and chat with Alexander and Harold Alexander, that is, to hear what's going on. But before we do that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and review our podcast. It's always good to hear from you, so that we can know what kind of content to bring to you. So let's go and chat with Harold. Harold, welcome to my show. It's good to see you. Good to have you on here, brother. How are you?
I'm great, man. Good to be here. Can't wait to talk about some really interesting topics.
Awesome. And I hear Atlanta is burning with a lot of creativity, and we're recording this from Atlanta, so it's good to have someone from Atlanta, Georgia, jumping in and chatting with us. But my listeners are getting curious now, and they want to know who you are and what you do. So why don't we start there and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Yeah, my name is Harold Alexander, CEO and founder of Underground App. Underground is a social media platform that connect fans with up and coming artists. So basically, if you're a fan of either Tyler Perry or Drake, you would go to our site and go or download our app. Tell us you like film, Black films, and then we will show you up and coming filmmakers, up and coming musicians in your area, so you can stay on top of the next hot great artist that's coming out. So that's basically what I do. I do some networking stuff also with some doctor offices, but my baby is Underground.
Awesome. That's great. So how did you get to this point? Like, talk to me a little bit about how did you get here? Did you always wanted to build an underground app, or tell us a little about the journey to get to this point?
Yeah, so quite a few years ago, some friends of mine was hanging out. I'll try and tell you the backstory how the idea came about. A couple friend of mine was hanging out, and one of my good friends came up to me. He said, "Man, did you hear the news?" I was like, "No, what news?" He said, "Ti just got signed," and I said, "Who's Ti?" And he said, "Oh, he's this underground rapper here in Atlanta." And I said, "I never heard of him." And he said, "Oh, well, you're not plugged into the underground scene." And they continued to talk on about him, and I just kind of felt left out. And he was right. If I didn't hear it on the radio or whatever, I didn't know who the artists were. So I wanted to create a platform so that people can easily catch up and find artists that were going to be the next great thing, and kind of help their trajectory, help that artist out. So I sat on the idea for quite a few years and didn't do any coding until quite a few years ago, and then I started building it out and launched the website about a year ago. About to launch the Android app here shortly, and then the iPhone app will be coming on after that. So yeah, it's been a journey.
Oh, that's awesome. So you're on this journey, and we talked a little bit offline about some of the things that you're using to really grow this application and really grow this platform. And so, what's the tool that we're going to be talking about today that other people could use to grow as well?
Yeah, one of the things, like I was saying offline, is that I use a thing called SMTP to go. You can go to SMTP2, the number two, go.com to find out more information. But basically, so let me explain what Underground does and what we use it. Then it'll make more sense about why SMTP to go works for us. And that is, when you register for Underground, we send you an email, we send you notifications. We want to try to make sure that those notifications do not appear in spam, and to make sure that they, are received. And a lot of these email providers are getting very strict on what email goes into your inbox, what goes into your junk, and then what goes into the promotional area. So I tested quite a few providers, email providers, and this SMTP to go seemed to be really reliable. It went through very quickly. I set up multiple emails. So what I did to test it was I created emails in multiple accounts, like a Yahoo, Google, and all these different accounts. And I just sent the email to myself to see if it would go through, and they did. And then I tested, like I said, Twilio, Constant Contact. I tested a few of them, and this SMTP to go was the only one that did all of them without flaw. So that's when I said, you know what, I'll start using this one to help me out. And so right now we're only using it to send notifications. So if you find an artist that you like and that artist, you know, posts like an event, we'll send you a notification. All that goes through SMTP to go. And then eventually we'll start doing it for SMS and other ways of notifications, because it'll do all of that.
No, that's interesting. So you've tested out all these other tools you're saying, and this SMTP to go really achieves deliverability in getting your mails into inbox. That's pretty cool. So does it mean that anyone could then use this and just kind of go and sort of get this app set up? Like, who are some of the folks that are recommended to really use this? Is it people who are building apps like yourself, or just regular business people? Talk to us a little bit about that. What do you think?
Yeah, both. Regular business people, app developers, anyone who's trying to, if you have a marketing system in place and you're sending out emails to multiple people, either it's a newsletter, a lot of people have newsletters now, or if it's some type of notification, or if you just want to just do like a mass email send out, it's for everybody who try to send that email. The cool thing about it is that you can try it for free. So you don't have to do any financial commitment at first. A lot of them have free trials, of course. And then if you do like it and want to keep it, you get your first, I forgot how many, like 3,000 to 5,000 emails, somewhere around that per month for free. And then after that, you know, you have to pay for it. And it's, I mean, even if you decide to pay for it, I think it's like $10 a month or something like that. So it's very, very reasonable. And you can tie it directly into your application. So as a developer, I love to have the control of having it tied directly into my backend application. So I'm a Java developer. I do all my stuff in Java. So when I write stuff, I want it to be integrated very easily. And they have it so that you can integrate it really, really easily into your application. So that's for the application side. For the but just a regular business user side, if you have a email template, depending on who you're using, you can use this SMTP to go application to plug in to your application. If you're a business owner and you have a developer on staff, you can use that. I think it has a feature to where you don't need a developer. You could just create it, a template, and then just send it out straight through their platform. And they have great support. So you can reach out to their support. If you're not a developer and you want to find out more information or test it out, you can do that. So it handles both sides of the equation.
Yeah. So if you're in marketing for the most part and you want to have better delivery to your inbox, then this is something that you should consider and at least take a look at it, right? And see if it can actually help you. Now, you'd obviously have to know sort of what's your deliverability rate, and so how many of your people are probably going to, how many of your messages rather are going into spam and stuff like that, so that you can kind of measure up. So I think my next question really is going to be around sort of, so there are so many tools out there that probably does similar things, and you said a lot of them. So like, how is this one different from some of the alternatives that maybe your listeners might have know about? I mean, I know about MailChimp and Constant and SendGrid and all these other tools. Like, how different do you think this one is?
I think it's very different in the fact that it gives you a lot of back-end control. All of them give you control, but this one gives you a lot of back end. And like I was saying, it's I've tested those other ones, and this one really seems to be delivered. I mean, it's not 100%. I don't think anything is 100% when it goes to get into your inbox. But out of all the ones that I've tested, this one had a very successful test rate. And like I said, if you want to try it yourself, there's no obligation, there's no financial. All you got to do is invest a little bit of time and then test it out and see if it's a good fit for you. But it's definitely reliable. It has customization on the back end. You can, easy integrate it into your current application. It has a free trial. Even the non-free trial is very inexpensive. And and they have great support, so you can call up and talk to people. That was one thing that I was looking for in the application, that, okay, if I run into an issue with problems, can I reach out to support? Like, can I have them? And I reached out to them, and they've been very responsive. So it has the qualities, all my check boxes. It has all the check boxes that I'm looking for in a marketing application, especially for when I'm trying to integrate into a social media platform.
Awesome. So let's talk a little about some practical stuff. Like, I want to kind of touch on like a use case scenario. I mean, so you have an app and you're building out this application, and you obviously touched on it a little bit about sending out notifications and so forth. But is there something else that you can talk through as it relates to a use case of how this could really be powerful for you if you were doing it?
You talking about it's powerful as far as how this will increase notifications when we're sending it out?
Yeah. So okay. just kind of a use case scenario of how you actually do that, even if it's just with the app itself that you have right now.
Oh yeah. So basically, in Underground, we, when you sign up, we send you an email code. We email you a code that you have to, register to make sure you're valid. So that part is the one that's very helpful. When you can't get that code, you can't sign up. So one of the reasons why I was looking at this was because not everybody was getting my codes from when they would sign up. So the emails weren't either coming in, or they were going junk in the spam. People weren't checking the spam. So I needed something reliable. So that was one of the use case scenarios. The other one is, as I start building out my notification, I wanted something that would be extremely reliable and very fast. And so, for an example, if you reacted to something on Underground, like you saw a trailer from a filmmaker, and you're like, oh my God, I like that trailer. I'm gonna react to it. I want the reaction to, send it to the people, immediately, so that they'll know. And also we have a messaging built into it, so you can send messages back and forth to artists. You communicate with them. I wanted that to be reliable. So I tested all of that, and that seemed to be some of the best results I think I've gotten out of any platform.
This podcast is brought to you by MI Digital Hub. MI Digital Hub is an all-in-one 360-degree high-level experience of your digital presence on the web today. If you would like to understand where you are now, what does your digital presence look like today, visit midigitalhub.com. Gives you a full snapshot report on where you are when it comes to SEO, your performance, social media listing, your Google My Business listing. All of those things you will be able to find in a single tool like the MI Digital Hub. At the MI Digital Hub, you will be able to generate that snapshot report and manage exactly what's happening with your digital presence. So visit midigitalhub.com today. Check it out, generate your free report, and certainly dive in to see how you can make changes when it comes to your digital marketing. This podcast is brought to you by mMessenger. mMessenger is your all-in-one SMS tool to facilitate SMS messaging across 200 countries around the world. Visit mmessenger.co to learn how you can start using SMS for notifications, for alerts, for updates, whatever you'd like to share with your customers. mmessenger is the communication tool for you. mmessenger.co. Visit that location and you will be able to learn more about how you can get started today with mmessenger. This podcast is brought to you by MI Group. MI is your source for technology solutions, digital marketing, and hosting your digital assets on the web today. Visit migroupco.com to learn how you can utilize our services to help you grow your business quickly. migroupco.com to learn more. No, that's great. And I can hear our listeners just talking around sort of, wow, if you can actually deliver emails, more emails to the inbox without it pushing to spam or getting into junk using this tool, I think that's going to be great for you, particularly if you're pushing notifications or you're doing validations and so forth when you send message. And most people who are doing marketing or have to interact with marketing because of your application or your job, that the idea here is getting more emails into the inbox of your recipients, as opposed to it going into spam or junk, because when it gets filtered, it becomes harder. I think a lot of people stop every now and again to check their junk and spam and see if there's something there that they might miss, but you always kind of want to be in the inbox. And so if this tool is helpful for that, then I think it's worth checking out. So Harold, you're touching a little bit about it. This can integrate, and I love to sort of talk a little more about integration. So what are some of the things that you can actually integrate this with? Like, if we're collecting information and want to push it to a CRM, can we integrate it with CRM? Talk to me a little about some of the integration opportunities that exist with this.
Yes, definitely. You can integrate it with the CRM. I have it, integrated in the back end of Underground. So all the back end of Underground is in Java. So it has a Java backend interface. You have to write a little bit of code to integrate it with Java, but you can definitely do that backend integration, PHP, all of those. If you have a CRM system, you can plug it into that, have your template created, and then it has a API that you can connect to. And then if you have a CRM and you want to integrate in the back, you probably will need some help doing that integration if you're not, a developer. But the development is actually relatively quick. You could almost find someone on Fiverr or Upwork or one of those other developer platforms to write it for you. And you could, have it implemented into, just a regular application. Like if you wanted to send like a Word document or something out there, you could do that as well. So yeah, you could implement it into almost any one of those applications very easily. Especially go to their site, they have a quick tutorials of other implementation that you can use, and they walk you through a lot of it. And they have sample code, which is also great. So if you're not a developer or if you're just starting, it's a lot easier for you to just, hey, I'm gonna take this code, plop it in, you just plug in your values, and you're good to go. Very simple, very quick, and you can be up and running in a matter of a few minutes.
Awesome. And you touched on it too, about it being free. You can start free, or you can get, if you're sending certain amount of emails, people who want to try it out, they can go to SMPT 2 go right.com and sign up and give it a shot. Right, we're always willing to try something at least once, and if it doesn't work out, then we can move on. I think one of the best lessons I've learned even this week is just really just kind of taking action quickly and making decisions really fast to get to your success. So here's a tool that you can go and and check it out, and you can sign up for it, and you can sign up for maybe a free account, test it, as you say. You said there's an opportunity to sign up for a free account, right? Right, Harold?
Right. That's right. That's right. You can sign up for a free account, and you can use it for free. I think, like I said, it's about 3 to 5,000 emails or something like that you can get per month.
Yeah.
So as long as you're not sending out more than that, you know, you can continue to use it. I pay for it because I wanted the support, the extra support. And but you do get support on the free version. I think it's email support. But yeah, it's a great option for people who are looking to, you know, get in more inbox.
Yeah, and I pulled it up here and I was looking, it says there's a paid plan available for over 1,000 emails a month. So if you're up to over 1,000 mails, then you can pay plan. I think it's like start at $10 or something like that
Exactly.
a month. So pretty cool. You guys should definitely try it out. I know staying in business for years and just really working and hustling through the bustles to build something is not easy. How have you done this, man? And what would you say has been the best thing that has happened to you since?
Yeah, it's about the grace of God, man, that I've been able to stay in business for as long as I have. And you know, also just talking to my clients, understanding your clients, getting all of that together, making sure that your clients are happy, make sure, you know, the term is value, providing value to your clients, and giving them, you know, what they want, you know, making sure that they are benefiting from your services. I have a pretty close relationship with my clients and people who do business with me. And I make sure that, you know, I can always be reached, that everything is clear, transparent, you know, that there's nothing surprise. If it's gonna, you know, if it's they need me to do some work, they know how much it's gonna cost most of the time. And yeah, and just keep moving that way. And that's why I have clients. The clients that I have now have been my clients for years. And the reason why they stay on is because they know that if they call me, I'll be available, and that I, you know, am reliable, and I don't, you know, play the games, or I, you know, do good work for them, and they refer me to other people, and that's the sign, a testament of when you're providing your clients value. When you're
Yeah.
truly providing value, your clients will refer you. They'll talk about you to other people. They'll, you know, tell you other things. And so that's how I've been able to grow and do everything. And now with Underground, once we get the app out, we're going to be doing very similar things as far as you know, getting you know, more value for our creators, making sure that they're connecting, making sure that they were able to advance their careers. And that's, you know, one of the options that we kind of have. So we're sponsoring a film festival coming up this weekend. I was mentioning that to you earlier. So we're using that to get filmmakers to look at musicians for you know, for their music, for their film. So we do a lot to we're always trying to make it better and try to make it, you know, so that people who use our platform will be able to advance and you know, and build their careers. And we want to be a part of helping you build that. So those are reasons why I think we've been doing business for as long as we have.
Nice. Awesome. So longevity is really the result of just being persistent and just ensure that you add value and treat people well, and they will stay with you. Listen, and you know, you talked earlier about your film festival, and I know by the time this podcast is aired, the film festival is probably going to be gone. So just so our listeners know, because you're going to be hearing this, what, you know, it's already happened, but you can always kind of look it up and see what Harold is doing. Hey man, so, you know, is there anything that I didn't ask you that you'd like to share with us today?
I just wanted to let everybody know we will be dropping the Android app here for Underground really soon, within hopefully a few weeks. We're going to be looking for beta testers. So if you're either a creator, meaning that you're actually a filmmaker, a musician, a comedian, a spoken word artist, or if you're a fan of any one of those, and you're not signed, it's Underground is just for unsigned artists. Definitely go to underground.app and sign up. We have a newsletter portion on the website where you can go and sign up for it, and you can be a part of our newsletter, create a profile, and tell us that you want to be in the beta testers. We will send out newsletters to let everybody know when the beta testing will start, so you can sign up and do that. So, but that's basically it. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk about my passion and what I'm doing.
No, awesome, man, and congrats for what you're doing. I like to I'll ask all of my guests some questions around books and podcasts. I want to hear from you. Kind of what books are you reading, and what books you have read, perhaps, that has really poured into you or really connected with your soul, if you may, or even just you as a business person, and podcasts that you're listening to. So we'll take maybe two or so, whatever you can come up with on books and podcasts.
Okay. Podcast. I haven't been listening to too many podcasts. I do check out Shaq. Shaq has a podcast, I think called the Big Shaq Podcast. Really good podcast. I listen to I can't think of the guy's name now. He's with Spotify. He's that big guy on Spotify. What's his name? Shoot.
I have no idea who that is, so that might be
I'm trying to think of the guy's
to.
name now. When I tell you his name, you'll know him because he's like that big guy on podcasts on Spotify. But I listen to him.
Are you talking about Reid Hoffman? I mean, I don't know if Reid Hoffman.
Not Reid Hoffman. It's I can't think of his name right now. But I listen to him. I'm surprised it'll come to me as soon as we get off of this podcast.
Okay.
So I listen to them. There's a tech podcast that comes on. It's with my names are slipping me now. There's a good tech podcast that comes on Spotify too. That's really good. And they talk about technology. But as far as with books, I read this good book called The Last Lecture. The artist's name escapes me, but if you really get a chance to check it out, it's a very good book. It's about this professor who has prostate cancer, and he is going around doing a lecture. And he pretty much is like only had like 3 or 4 years to live. And so he goes around and he's doing these lectures about pretty much living your best life, and how to be very adamant in how you live. It's a really, really good book called The Last Lecture. And another book I read it's called Proof of Heaven. That one another good book. It's Proof of Heaven is about he's a brain surgeon, and he actually dies. It's a near-death experience, and he goes to heaven, and he talks about his experience while he's there. And it's a really, really good book. It's very inspiring. I try to read uplifting book, even though that was a book about near death. It has a very positive, uplifting message to it. I think that's it. If I can remember those name of those podcasts, I'll definitely get them to you. But those
yeah, no, that's awesome, man. So Proof of Heaven and The Last Lecture.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Now, we're always looking for creators and, master users like yourself who are using systems and tools and methodologies that are helping their business to grow, because we want them to share those with our listeners so that they can grow too, right? And it's on the belief that we can choose the tools to actually help us rule our growth. And so we really wanted to hear if you have any recommendation of who should be perhaps the next guest that we reach out to talk to about coming on and talking about some growth stuff.
Oh, no doubt. Andrea Smith. I don't know if you've had her on there yet.
Oh yeah, she's been a guest on our podcast. She came on and chatted about Two Buddies. So I think you have to come up with another one.
Okay. If Andrea's not on there, then you definitely have to put Melvin. Have Melvin been on here yet?
Mel's not been on here yet. So okay, he's definitely one He's executive for the Atlanta Black Chamber.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's definitely one that we can chat with to come on here for sure.
Yeah, definitely Melvin. Michelle Glover, great. You know, she has Journey Unlimited, really good speaker, and she definitely is doing a lot of positive things with Journey Unlimited. So I would definitely, you know, Melvin and Michelle Glover are two of the ones that I would recommend. Definitely put on here.
Awesome, awesome. Well, listen, man, it was so great having you on here. Would love to keep in touch, see how Underground app is doing. But definitely, you know, we'd certainly look forward to hearing from you, follow with you in a couple of months. But thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate it.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right. That was Harold talking about the SMTT2Go app that you should definitely try to get your folks out of spam and junk into inbox. I'm sure everyone will love that. We learned a bunch there chatting with him. And if you like what we're sharing, subscribe and review and give us a rating. That actually helps us when you can do that and to deliver the kind of content that we're interested in hearing what you want to hear about, to help you to grow your business. And so until next time though, folks, don't forget to choose a tool to help you rule your growth. We'll talk soon.